Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got a video for you from Judge Baker in Texas. I'll let you watch.
At this time, I'll call cause number 95058-E in the interest of Tremaya Campbell Johnson. We're here for our initial permanency hearing, and we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're also live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Erica Flores is my permanency specialist. We're present and ready, Your Honor.
Right, Ms. Riley.
Judge, so Tracy Riley, and I'm appearing right now for Kristen Campbell, the mother in this case. I did, however, file a motion to withdraw that my client has signed. I did not have any reasons to withdraw from the case, but Ms. Campbell insisted that she did not want me to represent her. And after multiple times, I went ahead and filed the motion because she requested I do so.
Okay, and we attempted to take that up the other day. At the time, neither you nor your client appeared for that hearing, but we didn't realize at the time that she'd signed a motion that had been filed.
And
I weren't in a service contact with that, so we didn't know. So
and I apologize, Judge. There was an error in my office, and I did not know about that hearing. I apologize very much for not being there.
Well, we didn't do anything since y'all weren't there, and we didn't.
Yes.
We at that time we didn't know about a signed motion. So, all right. So, okay, let me finish announcements, and then we'll come back to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Zavala.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw Brooks and was waiting. I apologize. Stacy Zavala for Tremaya.
Okay. Mr. Barfield's not involved in this. He's just up in the next hearing. Okay, so Ms. Riley, then since we know now that the motion has been signed by your client, let me just touch Ms. Campbell. Ms. Campbell? You'll need to unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you turn your camera on?
It's broken.
All right. So is this what you want, Ms. Campbell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What is your plan about counsel? You're wanting to substitute somebody in?
I'm in the process of hiring someone.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't substitute anybody in then if that's what you're doing. So you're going to need to, they will need to file an appearance.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll go ahead and allow Ms. Riley to withdraw at this time, but do just understand, Ms. Campbell, you're going to be without legal representation until someone files an answer for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then Ms. Riley, we'll sign off on that order and you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge. And my apologies again.
Okay, no problem. All right, then we'll go ahead and take up review today. So Ms. Flores, are you going to give us the update?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Tremaya is currently placed here in Amarillo. She's out of school for the summertime right now. She's doing great. She did struggle a little bit to adjust to placement. There was just, I guess Tremaya had some concerns that white people were bad. The caregiver did report that to me. She just was standoffish with, like I said, in the court report, with the patience of the caregivers. I mean, she's opened up a lot. Tremaya, puts a lot of trust in them, and all these certain things that have happened in her past are coming to light. So other than that, she's doing really well with her caregivers. Her caregivers are very much pro foster care. They make a folder for mom for her to have each visit, and it's called A Folder of Love with Mom, where Tremaya is able to, if she's feeling sad, she's able to like do arts and crafts and put that in the folder. So whenever she has visits with her mom every week in person, she's able to, show mom all the stuff that she's made for her. Caregiver prints pictures and they glue them on the paper and stuff like that. But other than that, Shemea's doing really well. She's updated on medical, dental. She is going to individual counseling with Lynn Jennings. She sees her once every week. But other than that, Shemea's thriving. She's doing great.
Okay, Ms. Campbell, anything that you need to talk about today?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I had a visit with my daughter last week and I asked her about that statement, white people are bad, and she just totally didn't even know what I was speaking of. But like I've always felt like I've been treated unfairly by Miss Erica. She ignores my calls, had other people answering at first saying that she had left her phone in the office. And for weeks I was told there was no, like, I had received my service plan a month later. On the they had a meeting, a 5-month meeting on the 23rd, I believe it was. And Miss Erica had sent me a text and she asked me, was I going to hop on the meeting? And I told her I was in Houston. The reception is bad, but she said that she would send me the link. And I waited on that link. I was never received the link, so I didn't go on the meeting. And it was said that I said I wasn't going to join the meeting because I was in Houston, and that wasn't correct. So I asked Erica what the meeting was about. She said it was just a follow-up to see what services I had completed, and see how Tremai was doing. Later on, I found out that that wasn't even about the meeting. It was I guess a new goal change for unadoption or non-related adoption. And so I had asked Miss Erica, like, why would that be a new goal change? And she stated that because I wouldn't sign a release of information from my therapist, so she could see the notes of my therapy sessions. And I had spoke with Miss Erin Sessions, and she said that the goal had changed because I wasn't completing services, that I was refusing to do a drug screen for the department, which neither one of those are correct. And yeah, I just feel like I'm just not even being treated fair. I get lied to, like, I don't know. And on the, what day was it? The April the 2nd, I believe, I did a drug screen for the department. It was by mouth swab, and it was later said to be positive, which, like, I don't believe that's true. But if it is, like, I don't know if the department doesn't do outgoing mail or anything, but I noticed that Erica had took the test home with her because she had dropped me off from the visit. And I just really feel like this is a continuance to my son's trial for some reason. And I feel like as long as I'm at St. Francis, my daughter, nor I will have a fair outcome of this case, because it's too many people personally involved.
Well, Ms. Campbell, let me just stop you because St. Francis is the agency that handles these functions for the department in this
Yes,
region. There is no one else.
okay.
I can't give you a new lawyer. I can't give you a new agency.
Yes,
I can't give you all the stuff that you want. So you're going to have to figure out how to work with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
do your stuff. Get your certificates of completion to Ms. Flores. You do need to sign a release for the counseling notes because we have
Yes,
no
ma'am.
idea about what progress you're making unless we have that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's part of your service plan. So you do need to sign that release.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. That's not a problem. I didn't know anything until they did the service goal that she needed the notes to my sessions, or I would have signed it.
Okay, but you've got a service plan now and you know everything you're supposed to do, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then that's what you need to do. Focus on that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, before we get to Ms. Zavala real quick, can I ask Ms. Flores a few things?
Sure.
Thank you. Ms. Flores, today, have you had issues with mom's drug screening?
Yes, she's not gone to go drug screen willingly.
Okay. She no-showed in February and March and then did an oral swab in April?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking for drug screens today?
Yes, could we do a hair follicle today? It's been reported that she's shaved off her hair on purpose
Okay.
to prevent that. But however, I did notice the other day she does have some. Would that be something that we can ask for, please?
Okay. So if hair follicle is possible today, you'd ask for a hair follicle and a UA today?
Not a UA, sir, just the hair follicle.
Okay. Has she done a UA for us?
She did one for me on last month on the 30th. She did a UA. That's still pending. I haven't got it back. I've been checking for it.
Okay.
But that is pending.
And when you said last month, you mean May 30th?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are you asking that mom not alter her hair for the remainder of the case?
I'm sorry?
Are you asking that mom be ordered not to alter or shave or bleach or color her hair for the pendency of this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have in here about the outpatient drug treatment with Linda Dudley. Has she done that?
Yes, sir. She's attending them.
Okay.
Yes, she's attending them.
Okay. You need her to sign a release of information.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have in here also asking for visits to be stopped until we receive a negative UA.
Yes, sir.
You've got a UA pending right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you asking that in the event that UA comes back positive, that visits be stopped till we get a clean UA?
Yes, yes, sir. UA and hair follicle. Yes.
Okay. And do you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Okay. You heard what Ms. Campbell said. Have you had any communication issues with Ms. Campbell?
Yes, she sends massive text messages and phone calls. I am allowed at least 24 hours to respond to any requests or responses.
Mhm.
And I try to get back to her as soon as I can. And Miss Campbell believes I'm ignoring her, but I do have other stuff that I'm doing during the day, like I'll be out of town or I'm in other visits. I'm not trying to ignore her. I'm busy during the day, but I do reach out as soon as I can.
Okay. All right. We'd ask that you just continue to do that. Stay in contact with her as you can. We do know you have multiple cases to be working. So, any other issues that you need to address as far as mom?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Other than that, mom is working on her services?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Besides, I'm sorry, Daniel. Besides, we don't have her for her parenting classes. I don't have anything for that. She does say that she's taking them on an app called Allison, and that she just provide me with those certificates as well as, as she gets them as well.
Okay. Are you familiar with that?
I am not, no, sir.
Okay. Do you know if that qualifies under the service plan and under y'all's policies?
I am going to ask to see if that qualifies. And if not, I mean, there are other online classes that I can send her to
Okay.
do those parenting classes.
Okay. If you could get that done as soon as possible, check on that so that we're not putting mom behind by not letting her know in time. So if those are not going to qualify for her parenting classes, if you would find that out and let mom know as soon as possible and get her on a correct one, that will work.
Okay. Yes, and she just started those. I think she only has maybe 2
Okay.
done, so I'll get that as soon as I can.
Okay. Now, Dad, how is Dad doing? Where's he staying?
I try to communicate with Tommy. I send him monthly messages regarding what city he's in to send him a drug screen.
Mhm.
I've tried to help him retain a lawyer to fill out paperwork to meet him, and I don't hardly ever get any responses. I did,
Okay.
however, message him this morning for the link, and he said yes. So,
Okay, and I see Mr. Johnson on here. Your Honor, I don't think we announced that. Mr. Johnson is present with us. I don't think we put that on the record at the beginning, but
We have not, but he is present.
okay.
So
So Ms. Flores, as far as Dad, you're just asking that Dad start to work services as he can. I know he's over the road trucker and is gone a lot. But
yes.
for Dad to work his services as he can, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other requests from the court today?
If there's a possible way we can get Tommy to do a hair and a follicle today, I can send that drug screen anywhere he's at.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would ask Mr. Johnson where he is, if we can try to get a drug screen sent somewhere that he can go.
Mr. Johnson, can you unmute for us?
Hello,
Yes, sir. Where are you today?
I'm in Amarillo.
Okay. All right. You know where to go to drug test?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You need to be there by 4 o'clock today.
All right.
And Judge, we'd ask for a hair and UA on Mr.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Be hair and UA. Maybe your
Yes, ma'am.
beard, sir.
I don't want to cut my beard, but yeah. All right.
Okay. All right then, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I got to visit with Tremaya and her placement. It seems to be a very good, loving placement. We had a good visit. Her nerves were particularly raw that day. Any little thing would kind of throw her off. There's another child in the home who's in care, whose parental rights I think were just terminated that week. And I think it appears to be the first time that Tremaya realized that there's a possibility she might not go home. She very much wants to go home to mom. This is a loving, safe, appropriate home that she's in, but it's not a forever home. It will not be. I think it will hurt Tremaya very much if she doesn't get to see mom. So I really, really hope that mom cooperates with the drug screens and what she needs to. Because this is a particularly hard time for Tremaya, and she does want to go home.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I was on the phone. Me and my mother was on the phone with somebody. I forgot the lady name. I was driving at the time, and I guess my mom called back, and they said that outside of the family, we didn't want her. Somebody told my mother that. That's what I had a question about that.
Sorry, Ms. Flores, can you address that?
Because we all gave them names about everybody that was in our family and all that, and my mom said she talked to somebody and they said that the lady put in her report that we didn't want Tremaya.
Okay, well, I'm trying to find out. So let me let the Ms. Flores answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I actually submitted a connections request to find possible placements. And I have been in contact with Tommy's mother, and I do need to run background checks on everybody in the home that is 14 and older. And I called numerous times to get those names. However, I never received anything to run any kind of background check.
I think my mother in this. I think she's in here.
And I also I contacted Tommy to get that information as well with everybody in the home. I never received any kind of information from Tommy either. But I mean, I'm running everyone that I possibly can. Kristen on that connections referral, I've run through everybody. Everyone has prior history with CPS, or they have not called back. Kirsten actually does send me additional people to run, and everyone that she sent me has not been able to pass. We do have one possible one. However, she is a nurse that works 4 days during the night. So we're just going to have to figure out if we can find a possible caregiver during the night that can pass a CPS check and a criminal history check. And that is still pending.
Okay,
Okay.
so here,
Oh,
hang on,
never mind.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
What you need to do to try to fix this is you and
It
or
was,
your mom need to sit down and make a list of names,
we,
contact information.
yep, we gave somebody a list already.
Well, okay, but I don't know whether she's got it or not. I'm just saying, if you've got a copy of it, give it to him again.
Uh-huh.
Judge, may I say something?
Hang on a minute. Let me finish with him.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Ms. Flores, did you ever get a written list from him?
Not from Tommy Johnson, no, just from the connection specialist. And I think that's who he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the
I
lady.
could be
We
wrong,
talked to
but
her. We gave her about 5 or 6 names from here to Fort Worth, and they said in the report, when my mom talked to somebody on the phone, they said in the report that we didn't want your mom, and
And
that's what they put on there.
Okay,
Judge,
well, we all know that that's not how you feel about it, so we'll start taking a look at it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
and Judge Baker, I'm sorry, Tommy does frequent the home whenever he does come back into Amarillo. So whenever he comes back into Amarillo, that's where he's staying as well.
I'm only in town for a day and 10 hours. That's it.
Okay, which home are you talking about? Ms. Campbell's home?
No,
No,
No.
his mother's home.
Okay, all right. All
but
right.
I got a father too, so it can be that way too.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, Ms. Campbell, what did you want to say?
I was actually informed by Erica that they only wanted visitation with my daughter, and they didn't want her as placement. Every text and every conversation me and Erica has ever had, I have it. And she has never asked me to go drug screen. I have the dates when she did, and I cooperated. We don't get the
Hey, how you
full
doing?
but I have on the recording where she's telling me that they did not want my daughter to be placed there.
Okay, well, all I can do is say, everybody needs to make sure they've submitted those names and contact information. And apparently, Ms. Campbell, she's run the people that you've given her, and they have not been able to pass the background checks. So I guess we'll
Yes,
look
ma'am.
at the names and we'll look into the people that Dad provides. And just see if there's anybody appropriate on that side of the family. So, I don't know, would it be beneficial to get everybody together, invite everybody into a meeting? Or is this something that we can handle just by telling everybody we got to get it done?
Can we have people in the meeting like on this right here?
You mean like by Zoom? Can we
Yes,
do?
ma'am. Like family?
Well,
Judge,
they usually hold a family meeting over at the department. You're
Oh,
welcome to
okay,
bring
okay.
people with you that you want to.
Okay.
People
And-
that are going to be your support system. You're welcome to bring them.
And
Correct,
Judge,
Ms. Collins?
Yes, and it sounds like this case might need a family team meeting to get everybody together on the same page.
I was gonna say that, Judge, maybe we can set up a family team meeting, if Mr. Johnson's out of town, or if there's family members that are from out of town that he's talking about.
No, they from my
get
my
us-
mother and father are from here.
Mr. Johnson, let me finish talking, please.
Yes, sir.
Get a Zoom link to people that are out of town. People that
Uh-huh.
are in town can go into the office, but kind of do a hybrid meeting so that we can get a list of everybody we need to talk to, and get that information, and everybody will be on the same page.
I think so. I think that's a good idea. We're at the initial permanency hearing, and Ms. Campbell's getting ready to change attorneys and all of that. So I think a family team meeting would be a very good thing. So
And Judge, I'd ask Mr. Johnson, are you wanting an attorney?
I'm what?
Are you wanting to apply to see if you qualify for an attorney?
Yeah, but yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna go. I was gonna. I've been trying to talk to this old attorney I had on my other CPS case.
Okay.
That's why I've been waiting on him to get back with me.
While you're in town today, can you get the paperwork to Miss Flores so that she can get it to the court?
Yes, but
Okay.
I probably make too much money to afford an attorney. I mean, to get a court appointed attorney.
And I understand that, but we won't know unless the court's able to look at it. But at least let the court look at it to where we can make that determination. Then we'll know if you have to hire one or not.
Okay.
So if you can, Ms. Flores, if you can make sure that he's got that paperwork and try to get that done today,
Yes, sir.
and get it to the court so we can at least look at that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge,
yes,
okay, about my visits being stopped.
I'm going to rule on that, Miss Campbell. Just give me a minute.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, then I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue the child's current placement. Find there would be a continuing danger to return the child home today. All right. Both parents are ordered to go drug test before 4 p.m. today. That'll be hair and UA. Mother is ordered not to alter her hair during the pendency of this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, you know, like I said, if you don't want your beard cut, then you better start letting your hair grow. So, but I'm going to order you to do both today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Campbell,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to stop your visits at this time. If you come back and test positive for any drugs, then we'll stop the any in-person visits and just do virtual only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you know, at some point in time, if anybody's still using, I mean, we gotta start addressing that problem head on.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
And I'm not like anytime I've been asked to go drug test, I either ask for a ride or I do so.
can you get there today?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't need a ride.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
And
All right, then you both get there before 4 o'clock today. Failure to test or to give an adequate sample is going to be deemed a positive result.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right.
you know, I have a yes, ma'am. On mom, we're waiting on a UA to come back from the 30th. So we just need a hair follicle on mom today, not a UA. Ms. Flores said that she did go on May 30th. We're just waiting on it's just still pending on the UA. As to the stopping visits, you said if it was a positive, if she came back positive on anything, is that just a UA or is that hair and UA if she's positive?
Well, it's positive on any drug test. I mean, so
Okay.
all we're doing is a hair. If it comes back positive, we'll stop in-person visits.
Okay.
She can have virtual.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I encourage you to fill out that paperwork to see if you qualify for an attorney. If not, I encourage you to quickly retain one because, you know, every day that goes by, we're getting closer to a final on this, and you're, I think, going to want representation when we get to that point.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then.
Judge Baker, were you going to order an FTM or you just want us to follow through and do that?
I just want you to follow through with it.
Okay.
And Judge, one other thing, I know we mentioned it, the release of information. I know it's in the family plan, but order that mom signs
Yes,
the information.
I'll do that now.
I told her she needed to do it, so if you want to make it a court order, that's fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm not so sure that it isn't already under the status order, but
Yes, ma'am. I think it probably is, Your Honor.
okay. All right, so St. Francis is going to get that family team meeting set up. Y'all be making your list of people who you would like to have there with you and see if they can make it. If they're out of town, they can appear by Zoom. But it would be very beneficial for the two of you to be there in person.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then I'll see you back on September 30th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have very mixed feelings about, I have a hard time, let me say this, I have a hard time watching these kinds of videos. And I've heard some really bad things about Texas's DCFS as a whole, not individuals, here and there. And it, to me, when I do watch, I like to watch Judge Baker because I think she's very, very competent, and I think the people that work with her, that she works with, are very kind and competent human beings. But it just breaks my heart when I see a mom who maybe things weren't explained to her very well, and she could possibly lose her rights, all of them, just because of a bad attorney. I'm not saying her attorney was bad. I'm just saying that this kind of thing really hurts my heart. Somebody that maybe she's trying her hardest and they're just not telling her what she needs to do. And I mean, I can't tell. I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this mom. They said that she shaved her head. I don't know if that's true because she didn't turn on her camera. She said it was broken. So I don't know. But I would think the people that meet with her would know. So, I'm just saying I have very mixed feelings. It's very rare that I typically show these kinds of videos because to me it is heartbreaking, in my opinion. So, and I've heard good and bad. I've heard bad things about Texas DCFS. But the things that I do watch in Judge Baker's courtroom, people are on top of it, and they're very good people. So, I have a hard time. I just don't know what to believe. And, I think Dad showed up, Mom showed up. They're both here. They both want to be included. They both want to put people forward as possibilities. So, anyway, hopefully this will all work out for both these parents. That's all I can hope for. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.